Good morning. Welcome to Escoffier Online. My name is Chef Caesar. Today I'm going to show you how to properly clean and prepare some clams. What I got here is little neck clams. You can buy this most of the supermarkets, and the way when you go buy this, that you buy it by the piece, by the each. They are priced differently, less than $1 most of the time. But this, I have some little neck clams. They're really good to make a pasta with because they're really the taste is really mild and really tender, the meat inside. But we have to properly, when you buy them, you have to know how to properly store them and also how to clean them. If you buy them a day before, make sure you put them in a container with some ice on top. But also you want to put like a counter underneath, maybe something like this, that you can put over something that water is going to drain. You don't want to keep them in water because otherwise they're going to kill them and they're not going to be good next day. So you want to, cover this with some ice on top and put them in the counter like this and kind of keep them off, put something underneath so it keeps off the water. And that way they stay nice and fresh. And to clean them, that's a good question. Some people just think that washing them in the outside it's enough to do, the job. But we have to purge them, which means that we have to take everything in the inside. That sometimes they have sand. Remember, these things live in the bottom of the ocean. They live in, in the mud, sand. So they have, dirt inside. So we just want to kind of rinse them real quick before we, go to the next step. I'm gonna put a few in my bowl here, and I'm gonna just wash them really nice with some cold water. If you look at them, they look nice and clean. There's like no sand. Sometimes you can buy this already clean at the store. You can ask them if they already been purged. And a lot of times, like back here, they have a lot of like real fine mud or sand in this little crack. Make sure you scrub with a little brush or like even your hands or your fingers. But it's like looking at them, look that they're nice and clean. But you know what? They're not really clean yet. We still have to get all the stuff in the inside out. So what we do now, we're gonna add a little salt, or a little, more than a little salt, a couple tablespoons of salt, And this is gonna help them to, spit out everything they have inside. You wanna kind of dissolve the salt in here. And you wanna put them back in the refrigerator at this point. Cover them with some ice water with some lots of salt in it. Maybe use like a tablespoon of salt for a cup of water. And make sure they're nice and covered. So at this point, you want to put them back in the refrigerator for about an hour or 2 hours before you were to use them. And I want to show you what they look like. Even though they look clean, once you do this step, they're gonna be like this. And I'm gonna hope you can see this. There's a lot of stuff flowing inside the water. See all the stuff, the water over there looks clean. But once you get them, with the salt, they spit a lot of stuff out, like sand and a little mucus. So this, if you were not to clean them like this, all this would go into your sauce. If you're making like a pasta sauce, and you don't want that, that's disgusting. So you want a nice and clean clam. So we're gonna let them sit over here. And like I was saying, these things are like really, now they're clean. Sometimes the bigger they are, they have more stuff inside. And there's all different kinds of clams. They have like, then the size-wise, different shells. They have different names, and sometimes if you want to use it for like stuffing, you want to use the bigger ones, the top necks, or if you want to make a soup too, you want to use the bigger ones because they have a lot of juice inside. And you still want to do the same thing. You want to clean them like this because you want to, if you're going to make a soup, with the juice, you want to make sure you don't end up with all this nasty stuff, and the clam juice. So you want to clean them real nice. So I'm going to rinse them again to drain all this nasty water. At this point, we're ready to make our pasta with the clams. I'm going to start with chopping some garlic. You can do so many different sauces with this. I'm going to do just a garlic wine sauce with my clams today. I'm going to start by slicing some garlic really fine, about 3 cloves. I'm going to slice it really thin. And you can chop it up if you want, whatever you like. And if you want to add a little more garlic, it's fine. I'm using 3 cloves to make my pasta. And like I say, you can make them so many different ways. You can stuff them with, bake them. Use them to make a seafood with all the seafood as well. I'm going to chop it up real fine too. And you're gonna see this is really easy to make. You know, don't be intimidated when you go. You know, I'm sure you guys seen a lot of Italian restaurants that have this in the menu, and this is how they make it. It's really easy to do and a lot of fun, and it's not that complicated. So we're gonna start with I got my pan here. I'm gonna some olive oil. I got some extra virgin olive oil here. Enough to brown my garlic in there. Spoon here. Okay. This is going to be a real nice pasta. And you can make it with a cream sauce. You can make it with tomato sauce. Or just like I am doing right now with the garlic wine. I also want to add some pepper flakes. And this is like really, up to you. I'm using like a little half tablespoon. If you want to make it a little spicy, you can just add a little more, whatever. We just want to kind of brown the garlic and pepper so we can kind of infuse the oil, which is going to be part of the sauce when we're done. And these are going to cook really quick. The clams, once they open up, about 2-3 minutes, they'll be ready to go. And be careful not to burn the garlic, because you don't want to have a burnt taste. It's bitter. So as soon as it starts to get brown, I'm going to drop my clams in there and add the liquid. I'm going to use some white wine, some clam juice. You can also use some chicken stock if you don't have clam juice. You want a little mild flavor. I'm using some clam juice today. It smells wonderful. Now I'm going to drop my clams in there. They're going to be a little popping from the water. Mix this around like this. Now I'm going to add some of the white wine. And also I'm going to add some of my clam juice. At this point, we want to cover the pot so they open up. And also, one thing to remind you, when you buy the clams, if they're open, I wouldn't use them. Make sure they're like nice and closed. Sometimes they open up, when they're kind of sitting there to relaxing. But if you touch them, they're going to close back up. If they don't do that, which means that they're dead, so you want to kind of throw them away. Sometimes they're like crushed too. The shells get crushed, but those are definitely not good to use. You want to, pretty much put them away. And I'm going to let them go here for a couple minutes until it starts boiling, and they're going to open up. In the meantime, I'm going to chop some fresh basil and some parsley here to add to my sauce. About 2 tablespoons. If you want to add more, that's okay too. Just a little shift on the basil here. It's a good way to practice your knife skills out there too. See, it's really easy. Okay, put this aside. I got some Italian parsley here I'm going to be using too. And you can use this as a pasta or an appetizer, which is the sauce. Today I'm going to do a little something different. I made some little squash from I made a little spaghetti with my mandolin, so I'm going to add some of this to my pasta too, to make it a little more, with some vegetables in there. You don't have to, but if you want, feel free to do so. Or you can use just plain zucchinis with yellow squash and make like a spaghetti shape cuts in there. Okay. Now I got my parsley, my basil chopped up here. As you can see, it's steaming really nice. Some of this already opened up, so that they're really quick, because they're the baby clams, so they're not very tough. They open up really fast. A couple more minutes, I'm going to take them out of there to finish off the sauce. I'm going to be using some fresh pasta today. If you were going to use dry pasta, if you want to cook the pasta ahead of time, that's fine. Or if you want to kind of time it so that they come out at the same time, you want to start cooking the pasta a little before you start the clams. Because as you can see, it's really quick. And dry pasta takes about 8 to 10 minutes to cook. So you want to kind of get it going before you start the clams. But you can also, make fresh pasta, or you can, cook the pasta ahead of time and refresh it, and then just warm it up when you're ready to serve your dish. Oh boy, this is getting nice in here. As you can see, they're opening up really nice. There's a few more. If they don't open up, you want to throw them away. You don't want to use them. But most of this should open up. So you want to go a little more. I also want to be adding some little lemon zest. I like the little citrus taste in my pasta. I'm going to have the recipe. The recipe doesn't call for lemon or the zucchini spaghetti I made, but you can go ahead and add some little lemon zest or even lime zest to your pasta sauce. It's going to kind of, bring the flavor out and kind of taste really nice and refreshing. As you know, citrus goes really well with seafood. So most of these are opening up. I'm going to get my plate here. So I'm going to start taking them out of there. And you don't want to cook them too much. You don't want to overcook them. As you can see, they're nice and oh, they're all done here. Well, this smells really good. Okay, I'm going to take this out of here. I'm going to add, at this point, I'm going to add some of the basil and parsley. Make sure you try this. If you need a little more salt, you should add some more. But it's good because the clam juice and the clams, they have a lot of salt on them, so that's good enough like that. I'm going to add a little butter here. This is going to help to thicken up your sauce. I'm going to kind of let it reduce a little more before I add some butter. You can also add some cream if you want to make a cream sauce. You can. At this point, you should add some cream if you want to. Now I'm going to keep it like this, a little lighter. But again, if you guys like like a creamy pasta sauce with your clams, you feel free to do so. You can add some tomato sauce at this point. If you want to add like tomato sauce, you can do it right now. If you have your tomato sauce from your assignment, it's a good way to use it. I'm going to kind of reduce a little more. Okay. A little butter. This is going to help to thicken up the sauce here real quick. Now I'm going to get my pasta water going over here. I'll turn this down. Okay. When you're cooking some pasta, you want to add some lots of salt to the pasta water because you want to have the nice and tasty pasta. Be generous with the salt in here. Okay. Now I got my water boiling. I'm going to drop this pasta in there. Okay. And make sure when you drop it in there, you want to mix it around real quick. Otherwise, it's going to stick to itself. And you don't want that. Especially when you're using dry pasta. Make sure you stir around so it doesn't stick. I got some fettuccine noodles here. Okay. I want to cook this for a couple minutes before I add. I'm going to also add my zucchinis in there. I want to cook them a little bit, just blanch them. I don't want them too mushy, so I want to wait for the pasta to cook a couple minutes before I add the rest of the. Or you can also cook them separate if you want. You don't have to cook them in the same, water. But I'm going to do this right now because I don't have another pot to use. And fresh pasta cooks really quick. About 3 to 4 minutes it should be done. And over here we got our sauce. It's not that thick. Okay, there we go. And you don't want to overcook it either, so it's got to be nice al dente. Especially if you're using dry pasta, you got to be careful. And this fresh pasta cooks much quicker than dry pasta does, so you want to be a little extra careful. You don't want to walk away. Okay, I'm going to add some of this at this point to kind of cook them a little bit too, so we can mix them with the pasta. See this? They turn nice and bright green when you put the zucchini pieces in there. And again, you don't have to do this. You can just make, plain pasta. You can also just do regular, use all the zucchinis like this for your pasta instead of using regular pasta. I'm going to shut it off here. Now I'm going to turn my sauce back on here. At this point, we're getting ready to plate our dish. I'm going to, as you can see, this is very quick to do this. Move this to the side a little bit here. Chop some green onions to top. I also want to add little red tomatoes, some color to my pasta. You don't have to, but if you want to add a little vegetables, I'm going to slice some cherry tomatoes here. And I'm going to add some just for color. And you want to add this at the end, right before it comes out. Some of this for my garnishes. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take my pasta out of here before it overcooks. Should drain some of this. I'm going to put some of the lemon zest I told you I was going to do. This is going to really taste nice and fresh in the sauce. Just want a little bit, not too much. At this point, I'm going to put some of my pasta in there. Right through my tongs. Here they are. Maybe it's a little bit too much. I'm going to put like half of it. I also want to put the clams back in there. As you can see, this looks very nice. I'm going to toss some of these tomatoes in there too. And then we're done. The pasta is going to soak up some of the liquid in there, so don't worry if it's got too much. It won't be that much once you take it out of there when you plate it, because the pasta is going to soak some of the liquid in there, the sauce. Now we want to put some of this, we're going to plate it. Get a nice pasta bowl here. You want to put the noodles down first. Then you want to kind of put the clams around that. As you can see. Kind of go all the way around the bowl. If you think it's too much sauce, you don't have to put all in there. Now I'm going to put all the clams around that. See that? It's a very nice and easy dish to make at home. You can see that. Now I want to garnish our pasta. I'm going to put some use my lemon here to garnish my pasta. A couple lemon wheels in here will look really nice. Okay. I got some green onions here. As you guys can see, this is very simple. If you want to sprinkle a little more fresh herbs on top, Go ahead. I also want to put a little grated fresh Parmesan cheese over my pasta. You don't have to do this, but if you want, feel free. Just gonna grate some fresh Parmesan over the top, and there you go. You got a wonderful, nice pasta with clams that you guys can definitely make at home. I know you guys do a great job, and this is a great way to, kind of practice a little more and move on with your culinary skills. And I want to thank you, all of you guys, for being here this morning with me. And I hope to see you again next week with another wonderful team. We're going to be making some sun-dried tomato pesto that we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to make a nice, or maybe a chicken dish or something to go along with it. And see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.